Producers, do you ever wonder why you're not wildly more successful than you already are at production? Whether that's selling more beats, having more followers, or whatever metric that you're using to determine success. Well, in today's video, what I want to share with you is the number one thing holding you back from becoming successful, selling more beats, and turning this into a viable side hustle or even a full-time income. So what I want to do in this video, I want to read something that I wrote, and then we'll dive into why I think that this is the number one thing holding you back. And I promise that you initially will not believe what I'm saying. But if you give me 5 minutes to explain it, then you'll understand, and it'll actually probably even break your beliefs surrounding this. And if you do that, then what I guarantee is that you'll sell more beats, you'll gain more influence online, and you'll become wildly more successful as a music producer. So let's dive into it. So what I wrote is why producers are actually afraid of being successful. And so let me read this to you real quick. Producers are actually afraid of being successful. They're afraid of solving the problem because of the work involved to be successful. Most producers want all of the benefits of being a top producer or top earner, but they want none of the downsides and the hard work that comes as a consequence of that decision. You have to make a decision. You have to cut off everything else and decide what your suck is going to be. Commit to that. And if you're serious about actually getting successful at this. And so a lot of you may tune out, but if you give me 5 minutes, what I'll prove to you is why this is actually true. It's a mindset issue, and it's what's holding you back from being successful. So what I mean by being afraid of success is that a lot of producers want all of those benefits, just like I talked about, but they don't want to put in the work. They don't want to either put in more effort or more hours to get towards their goal. And so if you were to see all of the work lined up in front of you to get to the finish line, a lot of producers would not actually do that because they wouldn't feel like it's worth it. And so if you are not passionate about music, if you are not committed to being the best that you can be, then being a producer may not be for you. Like, it may just have to be a hobby that you just go and spend a few minutes a day on and just go and kick it with your friends and have fun, but it'll never be something that you're ever seriously successful at. So until you get past this thing and you stop being afraid of the work, then you won't be successful. And what I mean by successful, a lot of people think like you have to hit Timberland success, you have to get to Metro success or Zaytoven's in order to be successful, or at least like a top earner. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about producers who are making, $1,000 a week, 5,000 a month, 10,000 a month, those kind of producers, or somebody who is putting out work that they're proud of, right? And so the best definition of success that I've ever found was from Earl Nightingale, a radio broadcaster back in the 1950s. And what he said is success is the pursuit of a worthy ideal. And so an ideal is just like what you want to be in the future. So you'll never actually get there, but the pursuit of that is what determines you being successful. So if you're pursuing that at 100% right now, you're already successful. You've already overcome that mindset problem that's holding you back. But if you haven't even gotten started yet, if you're like, well, I haven't even put out my first piece of content yet, I haven't even posted 100 type beats, I haven't even sent the first DM to see if I can get an artist to buy beats from me, then you're not successful because you're procrastinating. You're pushing off what you need to do in order to be successful. And so when you first start at it, you're going to suck at it, but you have to decide like what about this is the thing that you need to get to your goal. So like if you're willing to accept a few things that suck, then you're able to reach your goals, and most people won't do those things, which makes it easy for you to be successful if you're willing to accept that. So for me, the suck that I'm willing to accept to reach my goals is working a little bit longer than what everybody else is doing. So while everybody is automating everything on YouTube and trying to have these mechanical processes to turn humans into sales, what I do on the other side of that, because I can't compete with process-minded people who are more technical than me. What I do instead is I personalize everything. I spend time talking to artists. I get them onto calls, I get them onto Zoom calls. And that way, that's the suck that I'm willing to accept. Sometimes I'm a little bit tired of doing that, but on the other side of that is thousands of dollars. There's a gold mine out there for producers who want to do that. And I've taught over 28 producers how to do the exact same thing. Make anywhere from 400 a month to 4,000. And they use the exact same process that I do. And really, realistically speaking, 1,000 producers could start using that business model tomorrow, and it would still be as successful as what I'm doing. But the reason why they haven't started yet is because they're not willing to accept the suck that comes with that. Nothing is going to be ideal. So even if you have a successful YouTube channel, I've talked with a successful producer who's living full time off of that. He lived out in Geneva, Switzerland, and he was making thousands a month. We had collab beats that have made us multiple thousands each. So we're making a lot of money together, but also he's making a lot of money on his own. And what he told me is that he's kind of stuck. Like, he can only post one type of beat. He puts the same drums on everything. He uses the same chord progressions and melodies over and over again. And if he stops doing that, what he's afraid of doing is happening is that his views are going to drop. His channel's going to die off and it'll stop trending. And then the money will dissipate into thin air. So there's a real fear there that even if you get it to work, there's still a massive downside because you can't actually stop doing that. You can't turn it off. You have to keep going. And so that's the suck that comes with YouTube, is that once you're consistent for a year or for 2 years or 3 years, and you post every day or post 3 times a week and you get successful at it, now you can't actually stop that vehicle from moving, or you're going to die out and have to go back to the 9 to 5. So there's a suck that comes with everything. And if you're willing to accept that, then you'll be able to push past what others are willing to do. And that will allow you to become wildly more successful. So hopefully that mindset shift is going to help you out. It's going to help you to actually achieve what your dream is. So whether that is being a full-time producer and making, I don't know, like 3,000 to 5,000 a month off of this, or if you're trying to get to 1,000 a month, that's what's going to start the gears in motion towards that. So what I would propose to you today is that if you want to get to $1,000 a month minimum from your beats, the number one thing you need to have is a personal brand. And if you don't want to post on BeatStars and post on YouTube and do email marketing and post endless amounts of content to sell beats, then the one way that I found to sell beats is to have a personal brand that develops trust, then go out and network one-on-one with artists that you want to work with, convince them to get onto a Zoom call with you, and then sell your beats on that. So if you do all of that and you raise your prices, instead of doing $30, $50, $100 leases, if you change your prices to where you're minimum getting $250 checks in your PayPal, then all you need is just 4 sales to get to 1,000 a month. And that's what I teach producers how to do. So if you're a little bit lost, if that sounds a little bit new to you and something that you don't want to figure out yourself and spend 5 years doing like what I did, then something that I would want to do for you, we can get onto a free coaching call. I can show you this process. I can explain it in detail and show you how it works. And then I can give you an invite to my program. And so that does cost money, but the call is free. So if you want to qualify for that and you want to actually get a one-on-one session with me where I can go and write out in detail exactly what you need to do to hit your goals, then what you can do is DM me the word mentor on Instagram. That's at Kobe Sample Source. So you're going to see the link in the description. If you really want to get help from me, you can go to at Kobe Sample Source on Instagram, and you can just DM me the word mentor, and we can set that up for free. So really look forward to helping you guys out with this. Hope that mindset shift is enough to get you past that edge to where you can actually start moving forward and progressing and becoming more successful with selling beats, building a brand, or being a successful producer online, whatever that means to you. But otherwise, I'll talk with you. DM me, mentor on Kobe Sample Source, and I look forward to giving you a free coaching session. I'll see you guys in the next video.